She doesn't even go here.
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Hummel, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome to Not So Straight Nerds. Thank you guys for tuning in with us today. I am Luke.
And I'm Alicia.
And it's somebody's birthday episode. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Stop it.
Air horn.
Yeah, so I think that was a fun idea to do a birthday episode. So that's what we're doing, is just kind of talking about my favorite movies, my favorite TV shows, directors, and whatever other questions you may have.
And so on, so forth.
Yeah. So also keep in mind that these are my favorites. They're not, necessarily like the best whatever ever made. Just my favorite. It's different. They're different lists, okay?
They are very different lists.
They're different lists. So, and it's very hard to pick 10, like impossible to pick 10. I have a lot of honorable mentions, and I put in here that really I have like a 1 through 10 list, but it's not in a particular order, because on like a different day I could rearrange any of them and be fine with that. I could switch out some top 10 for some honorable mentions and be fine. So that's what it is today.
And that's what it's going to have to be. And you're going to
So-
have to be
so
fine with
sorry.
it. Okay, guys?
You're gonna be-
okay.
You're going to have to be okay with
We're
it.
going to vibe. It'll be great.
It's my list, not yours. It's okay if you have a different list. It's totally fine. So, yeah. So, what are the vibes?
What are the vibes? Well, I feel like this episode isn't about me, so kind of lame.
You said there are no vibes. The
The
vibes,
vibes are dead.
bad. Yeah. No, I'm excited. I think this will be fun. This is something different we haven't really done before. So, yeah. It's going to be several months before we do yours. So,
It is, so I have time to
It's okay.
prepare.
yeah.
I'll be ready. I won't be ready. I'll probably work on the list the day before.
Yeah, I worked on it and changed stuff around like this morning. I was like, oh, I really want a musical in there. I really want like an animation movie in there. So I changed things around, okay? Listen, I'm sorry. Anyways.
Ready to go on this journey, and I have my phone ready to Google in case I don't know things.
Yeah.
And so we can learn more.
I know for a fact you have not seen all of the top 10 movies. And some of them.
All of? Dang. Okay.
You've seen most of them, but not all of them.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying I haven't seen any of the top 10 movies. And I was
No.
whoa.
No, I just mean like not every single one.
Okay.
And then some of the honorable mentions I don't think you've seen. But most of them you have seen.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out.
We will.
A couple of these would surprise me if you've seen. But anyways. None of them are like... I wouldn't say any of them are like... No one's ever heard of the movie. So, sorry. I'm not going to be like the top 4 letterbox. Like, nobody's heard of those movies. They're so obscure. Which, that's fine. That's great if that's your list. That's not my list. So... What can you do?
And how messed up is that?
But maybe a couple of them you haven't heard of or at least haven't seen, and I would recommend seeing them. So yeah. Anyways, you want to just jump right in?
Surely, you're the one. I'm not even looking at the outline because I want to be surprised by your
Okay.
list. So you're steering us on this conversation about you. Don't let it
Okay.
go to your head.
So I'm so scared. I'm gonna be like roasted alive for this list. Anyways. Hey, there's some good ones. Anyways, so I guess I'll just go ahead and list off the top 10. We'll just get right into it.
Sure, but are
Have
we
your
starting at
initial
10
thoughts?
and going up?
I guess, but again, there's no particular order, so that's just, I guess, what it is today, and tomorrow could be totally different. So, anyways, so
Wait, before we start the list, I'm curious because you said there's a musical, you said there's an animated. Is there a horror in there at all?
not really. There's like a thriller,
Okay.
I would say. I think it would be classified as a thriller. It's definitely a darker movie on here.
And it's The Monkey.
No,
A Minecraft movie.
no.
Dang.
Anyways, I can promise you that'll never come close. Neither one of those will come close. Anyway, so the number 10, I have my animated feature, and that is The Princess and the Frog.
Ooh.
I love that movie. It is my favorite Disney movie, period. I love that movie. What else can I say? And
How about why you love it?
Well, it's kind of stupid reasons. I feel like I really like jazz music, and so I love the music from the film. Every song is very enjoyable. And that's not, I guess it's not a hugely high bar because there's plenty of Disney films with like a perfect soundtrack, but this is definitely one of them. And it has just like a unique style, and I like it. I like the jazzy style. I love Tiana as a character. I love that she's hardworking. She's like what Disney is trying to do with their live action princesses, trying to have them be hardworking and fall in love at the same time. But they're just not hitting it like they did with Tiana. Her movie deserved so much better. They didn't treat it well because it was the last like 2D animated film that they were going to make.
It still slaps.
It still slaps, but it did not super succeed in the box office. So, because they didn't market it very well. Because they were basically like, here's the last one. We're just throwing it out there.
And it still became a beloved classic.
Mm-hmm. And then they tried to make the show, and then they canceled that show. So, screw Disney. They suck. It deserves better.
What is, if I may, on this subject?
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I may say...
Oh, and also, it has one of my favorite villains.
Yes.
One of my
classic.
favorite, like, animal sidekicks, I guess you would say,
Which one?
quote unquote.
Ray or...
Yes. Ray and Lewis, like, amazing characters. Mama Odie is great, too. And then Naveen is, like, top 3 Disney princess for me.
For sure.
And he has character development, which some of them
don't.
just because a lot of them aren't given that much nuance, and I like that he's given nuance and he like betters himself, and that's really cool.
Yeah, I will say this is an animated movie that really gives all of its ensemble an arc, or like they definitely don't end where they started, and it's for a movie that's aimed at children and even has some bittersweet like endings for some of these characters. So it kind of reminds me of an ode back to kind of more classic Disney, where it's the things are a little darker than maybe you would think on the surface for this kids movie. So I think they stuck a lot of classic stuff in there. A brutal villain defeat, and some killer songs. What's your favorite song from Princess and the Frog?
That's really hard. I've always really liked, I'm going to probably mispronounce this, but Ma Belle Evangeline, or My Belle Evangeline. It's just My Beautiful Evangeline. It's a very good song. I like Almost There. I don't know. I like all the songs. It's a great soundtrack. I would listen to any of them. There's even like the credit song, Never Knew I Needed. I love that song. It's not even like the official movie soundtrack, but it's in the credits, and it's really good. And yeah, I don't know.
Very good. Starting out the top 10 pretty strong.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, and then also I feel like some older Disney films have some really deep messages that they almost don't really do nowadays. Like this one has like the theme of racial discrimination because she works so hard, and then the way they talk to her, like the auction people, when she doesn't get the restaurant, even after bidding on it and losing out on all that money, like the way they talk to her is very, well, it's very sad obviously, but it's very important to show that does happen. But also they celebrate so much like culture and life that I think that's important to touch on as well. They show the light and the dark part of it, and I don't know, I feel like some of their newer films, it's good. It still has a message. It still has a theme, but I don't know. We've lost that, like, politicalness. It's like they don't want to be political now, and I'm just like, but it's important because these things are happening, and, what good is it to deny it? So I appreciate that. So I do understand and validate the criticism that it sucks that the first Black Disney princess is a frog for most of the movie. It's hard because, like, it is the Princess and the Frog, so of course she was going to be for most of the movie. But I still think that's very understandable, and I wish they would make more. Again, why cancel her TV show?
Yeah.
Would have been a great fix for that. And like, here's a whole show where she's, human. But then they canceled it, so. Oh, well, I was very disappointed. I'm not really surprised because I knew the amount of times it was getting delayed. I was like, ugh, I feel like this is going to go in the trash someday. And it did, unfortunately. So, oh, well. But anyways, yeah. I wanted an animated film in there, so I figured why not my favorite Disney movie.
Sure.
And then number 9, we have a rom-com. I don't know if I would say the only rom-com. My number 1 might also be considered one. It's also like a drama, family movie. But anyways, number 9 is a rom-com. It's Crazy Rich Asians.
Ooh,
I love Crazy Rich Asians.
Interesting. I thought this was going to be your number 1.
No.
Because I know you really like this one.
I do really like this movie. It's also directed by John M. Chu.
Mm-hmm.
Wicked. He's great. If he had directed like a couple more movies that I had watched and liked, I haven't seen a lot of his films. Actually, that one and Wicked might be the only 2 maybe that I can think of off the top of my head.
What films has he made? I'm looking now.
I was gonna put him on my best or like one of my favorites directors list, but then I just feel like I haven't seen enough of his films to really say that. But I like those 2 films a lot, quite a lot. Yeah, and I think the main actress, there was something with her where like I guess she wasn't getting paid well, and so she didn't want to return for a sequel or something. I don't know. I need to read more into it, which that's a shame because they should definitely make a sequel, but they should also, for more than anything, pay her because she's the main character. So, but
Some
know, we got
amazing
some-
talent in this movie.
I will say
Absolutely.
I've not seen this movie yet.
that's crazy. I did not know that actually. That was not one of the movies I was like, I know you haven't seen. We'll have to watch that. I've watched that a lot. My dad loves that movie. He's the one that got me to watch that movie because, when your dad's like, this movie's great. And you're like, okay. But then you watch it and you're like, this is actually a great movie. He's done that to me several times. I'm like, okay, maybe I should start believing you. But every now and then he's like, this movie's great. And it's like, really bad. But anyways.
I was hoping you were going to give an example.
Ooh, I don't know. He really likes the Pitch Perfect movies too.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's such a dad movie for some reason though, and I don't know why.
I couldn't tell
seems
you
like-
why you think that.
No, well, I've seen like videos of people also saying their dads just love Pitch Perfect. And I'm like, why? What is the draw of that movie that dads just love that movie? But anyways, yeah. Any other comments or questions about Crazy Rich Asians?
I will say it's hard for me to come up with one as
Since
not
you haven't seen
having
it.
seen it. If you had, what would you say is your favorite performance from it?
Ooh, I really, really, really like. I think her name's Gemma Chan. Isn't that the
Yes,
lady?
Cersei from The
Yes,
Eternals.
yes. She has a great performance that really it takes a while to get there to what her character is, but there's this really good scene where it's her and her husband in a car, and I can't say much without spoiling it, but let's just say something happens and she says something about it, and she's in a position that he doesn't understand or respect, and he does something that would bring drama into the family, and they're on this way to a wedding, so she's kind of like, let's just deal with it later, right? Why would we deal with this now when we're on the way to a wedding? Like, let's deal with this after the wedding. And he's like, gosh, you just don't even care. Like, you just value your reputation more than you value, like, what I did to you. And basically, he's blaming her for what he did, and it's ridiculous. But she has just such this great, subtle performance, and I love it. And she's one of the few nice characters in that movie.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, she is. But that's not really a spoiler because that is established like from the beginning of meeting her characters. Like she is one of the nice ones, and she is.
I feel like Gemma Chan
And I
should
like
be
the
working more than she
Yeah.
is. I feel like she had a moment for a while around the Eternals, and
Yeah.
she had a small role in Don't Worry, Darling,
Oh yeah.
which didn't really go anywhere either.
Yeah.
But it feels like it was supposed to. I really hope that she gets another loop around with some work.
Mhm. Well, and Michelle Yeoh is also in that movie, and she does a great job.
Love Mother.
Mhm. You won't in that movie. She is
Oh,
Mother,
well.
but you won't in that movie. Anyways, but she does great at what she's supposed to do.
Well, we love Michelle Yeoh.
Hmm. And then the main actress is really good, and I wish she got more work.
Constance Wu.
Yeah,
Alright. don't know
I
if I've
think
seen
the
her
whole
in
thing
anything.
was like they were supposed to do another one, but she wasn't gonna return because they weren't willing to pay her more, which sucks. I think that was what it was. Anyways,
Oh no, she's the voice of Daphne and Velma.
oh no, oof,
Ugh.
I'm so sorry. To
And
her.
she was in Lyle Lyle Crocodile.
But you know what? If those two things got her a paycheck, then good for her. So it is what it is.
Man.
Anyways, the next one on my list, I actually don't know if you've seen this one.
Let's find out.
It is Hidden Figures.
Oh, I love Hidden
Right?
Figures.
I was thinking you had. I was a little worried though that you had.
I adore it.
Okay. I love that movie. I love so many performances from that movie. Glenn Powell, that is where I was introduced to Glenn Powell, I
constantly
believe.
forget he's in that movie.
I do too, but then I was like, oh yeah, so that's probably the first movie I've seen with him in it. And he's great in that movie. He's one of the nice white people in that movie. There's a lot of mean people. But yeah, it's great. The three main leads are all equally as great. I don't know. It's just all around a great film. The script is great. It looks great visually. It just
Man.
has a lot of great performances.
It is.
It's a very important film too.
It's so important. It's very moving.
I love films that, because wasn't it based off a real story, or am I crazy?
Yes, I believe they're all based off of real
I
people.
was thinking that because in that case, like I love stories that do that because it's so important to highlight people from history that did something so important but haven't been highlighted the way they deserve. And so I'm glad that this film did that. I think it did well. I mean, a lot of people talk about it, so it's pretty well known. And yeah, that's great. I love this movie.
Yeah, I think
That whole like monologue, that big like I have to use a restroom and like nobody wants to drink out of the coffee pot I touched. I'm like, ugh,
working
chills.
like a dog.
I mean, that should.
day and night.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
That needs to be like top 10 monologues you study in like film class. Like that is such a good monologue. It's such a good performance of the monologue. It's
that
just-
whole cast is just so strong.
Jim Parsons in that movie as not one of the nice people. I think that's his name, the Sheldon guy from
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory.
Jim Parsons plays
Yeah.
Paul, but
Ugh.
do you pronounce it Taraji B. Henson?
I don't know.
But she's the main character in that
Right.
movie. She plays Catherine, and
She's
and
great.
she's also great in the color purple.
Yep.
I think some people were wanting her to get some awards buzz for that. I definitely wanted her to get some awards buzz for that because she shines in that movie.
Yeah.
As I don't think I've seen her have a role able to like give her something so like starry and flashy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so good in that. I wish she got the love that Danielle Brooks got, rightfully so, for her performance in that movie. Oh,
I'm glad someone was praised from that movie, but they definitely both deserve to be praised.
But
yeah. And Octavia Spencer's in Hidden Figures as well, I believe.
yes, and then Janelle Monáe,
great. Yep.
that whole main
They're just such a great
character is
trio.
Such a great, and their stories are great, and they're performed so well. Oh, I can't say enough good things about this movie.
I know. It's just all around really great.
And then Kevin Costner playing another cool white guy in NASA.
Yeah.
Like the cool white guy in NASA.
Yeah. Which he isn't perfect, but, you know, he does his best, I guess. He gets better, too. That's what I will say. And I don't think he's ever, at least that I can remember, like, outright racist. Like, not like Jim Parsons' character. Not like Paul.
Yeah, he's just hyper-focused on what
Right.
they're there to do.
And then he, like, very quickly becomes an ally when, like...
Well, because it's what I love about that movie is that it shows that these ideas that people are so stuck with, they're not productive for anyone.
Right.
It's getting in the way of this huge thing that is going to push mankind forward, and yet this coffee pot is going to be what you focus on when
Right.
you're trying to get someone
So many
to
more, like...
like into space,
Right.
to the moon. And the movie highlights that so perfectly well.
And people still need to learn from that. So that's still a very relevant movie. So, the next one on my list is the one that I wasn't sure if you had seen.
Okay.
It is Nightmare Alley, and that might surprise some people because that is a pretty divisive movie. It really works for some people, and it really doesn't work for other people.
I've not seen it. That's a Guillermo del Toro movie? I didn't know that.
That's what made me put him on my list of directors. So he's one of them. We'll get to that later.
Tony Collette.
Yep.
Ugh.
Bradley Cooper.
We need to.
You know what? We should make tomorrow, since neither of us are doing anything, we should catch up on your top 10 list.
Okay. I'm down. We can watch that one. We can watch Crazy Rich Asians. I love both of those movies. It's just, I can't say much about Nightmare Alley. That's the thriller one. That one's the more dark film. Look, can you look up what the official genre is? That one.
Let me see.
I would not classify it as horror.
Genres: crime, drama, thriller.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it. It's just so, like, this man's working at a circus, and he learns about. It's just I just love what full circle moment it becomes, because he learns about this guy who's like at the very, very bottom, and it's described. There's like a monologue that's describing him, and let's just say that comes back later in what I think is a brilliant way. I literally, when it came back again, I literally gasped. I was like, oh my God. Like, that was the moment. It really solidified for me in that moment. It was like the last 5 minutes of the movie, and I said, I love this movie because this is coming around full circle. I liked it so far, but when I realized that he was reading the same thing, oh my God, my brain exploded. It was great. And I'm so sorry for the people who just, it didn't hit for them, but it worked for me. It hit for me. And it's not a perfect movie, but I love full circle moments, and so that just really, really worked for me. And I really like Bradley Cooper's performance in that. A lot of great performances in that movie. So it's a very dark movie too. So because I tried to watch it, and in like the first, I want to say 15 minutes, this guy, you literally see him bite the head off a chicken. Like, it's very like, you see it. They don't like, cut it. It's really gross. And so I was like, ugh, I don't want to watch this movie. I threw it away. Like, I didn't even watch it. And then I had to watch it for a film class. And I was like, okay, at least I'm giving it another chance. And then it like changed my life. And I was like, damn, okay. Maybe I should have watched this and gave it a chance. But anyways, it really worked for me. So I like it.
I want to try and ask another question about this one that I haven't seen. I would say, what is the weakest part of this movie, you think? Ooh.
I feel like I want to say, it's been a while since I've seen it. It's actually been since that film class that I've seen it, because it's a little bit of a longer movie and a darker watch. And so if you're not in the mood to watch it, you're not going to watch it. But I feel like I remember sometimes the pacing wasn't the best. Like, there were like highs and lows of that movie. But I don't know. It's because, again, like, it didn't start off as strong as I wanted it to. But that scene is very important to get through because it comes full circle in the end. And then
when a chicken rips his head off.
It's really hard. Well,
how dare you overlook that joke? I'm not even going to let you try.
I'm sorry. I just processed it after you said it. Okay. It was a good joke. Anyways, so in parts of the film, I can understand why it doesn't work, because sometimes it's like, why is this happening? Why are we supposed to care? Why are we watching this until it happens? And then you're like, oh, this is why. And so I can understand if like people say, well, I don't want to watch a movie where it really only becomes important and full circle at the very, very end. I can understand that. But so I'm interested to rewatch it now that I know what happens and see if it still hits the same. But for right now, it's in my top 10, so we'll see.
Fascinating.
And then number 6, Knives Out.
Oh,
I love
that's
that
a
movie.
great choice.
Oh, I love that movie. If Rian Johnson didn't direct The Last Jedi, I was gonna put him in my directors, and then he directed the Star Wars.
Is that the final of the?
No, the second one of the episode 8.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. That one's really bad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So sorry, because he's created 2 great mystery movies in that franchise. Hopefully a third, and then
Third comes out this year.
yes, and then he also did Poker Face, the show, which was
I
also
haven't
really
watched
good.
that one yet.
That's a good one.
It
It has
looks
like Natasha Lyonne in it.
Mm-hmm.
Great
I
great
own
show.
it, so
Mhm.
I need to watch that
Yeah.
eventually because I love her as well.
Yeah, it is really good. She has this like superpower where she can tell when people are lying, and she's like, and that's a really cool concept in itself. And he uses it really well. So I remember liking it a lot.
Ooh, he did some episodes on Breaking Bad. I'm in the middle of watching the final season for that. The directing in that show is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's very.
What can I
exciting.
say? Okay, guys, let me set the scene for when I first watched this movie. I had watched, and a lot of people are gonna like, just like curl up and die from this opinion, and I'm so sorry. I was watching the movie Midsummer, and let me tell you what I went into Midsummer thinking. I thought, I know Midsummer. That's like a Midsummer's Night Dream, right? Right? I was like, Shakespeare, and it has Florence Pugh and Will Poulter. Like, great. That was my expectation of the movie. I knew nothing else about this movie. And I thought, which, just to warn those, it has literally nothing to do with the Shakespeare story at all.
Sure.
At least not that I can remember. Anyways, it's very much like a horror film, basically. It's so gross, too.
Ari
Ari
Aster in your
Aster,
top 10?
yep.
That's crazy. Although Midsummer. Oh. But then it.
That's not in my top 10, just to...
Oh, okay. I thought we switched.
No.
I would
No.
say that's.
No. Okay, here's where the bad opinion's gonna come in. So sorry. I'm setting the scene for Knives Out.
Okay. I
So
thought we moved on
watched-
from that a little fast.
No. I watched Midsummer with those expectations. As you can imagine, I was flabbergasted the first time someone walked off a cliff and you saw his head literally implode from the impact. You can imagine my shock. My jaw drops. I did not vibe with that movie at all, which I don't know if you're supposed to, because that movie is messed up. But anyways, so I hated that movie.
Fun time.
I hated that movie. I was like, okay, maybe if I rewatch it knowing what's going to happen, maybe that'll make it better.
So you needed to watch that for the first time with my friend, who was really excited to watch it with me because she had already seen it, and I think we're thinking of the exact same person when I say that.
Okay.
And so I was in the right mind space for that movie.
Okay. Well, I wasn't. So I'm so sorry. I will give it another chance
If there
one
is
day.
a correct
but
mind space to be in for a movie like this.
I know, right? Gosh.
It's so
Anyways,
crazy.
so then I needed something lighthearted. I needed something that was going to get me in a better mood. So I watched Knives Out because it says mystery movie. I'm like, great, mystery movie, Chris Evans. Sold. And I watched this movie, and yeah, it's a lot more lighthearted, which, I mean, it's a mystery movie, people die, but it's not Midsummer. And then the whole monologue of, like, what happened, and then Chris Evans being like, yeah, I guess I killed Fran, but I guess I didn't. Because then she didn't technically die. That whole monologue is great. That's like the peak of Chris Evans' career right there. And then he has never hit something close to that ever again, unfortunately. And that's just a great... I literally, like, flopped out of my seat, such in awe of, like, what happened. I was like, I love this movie. All the pieces are coming together. And then I made my parents watch it, and they loved it. I made my aunt and uncle watch it. They loved it. And then I dragged my mom and dad to the theater that was like 40 minutes away to see Glass Onion because it wasn't playing in a lot of theaters. And we were all very glad we saw it. It was good. It wasn't, I will say, I didn't like it as quite as good as the first one, but it was very close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
Glass Onion,
it's
I
like-
think, it's the next iteration.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Knives Out is definitely better, but I still liked Glass Onion, and I'm glad I saw it in theaters.
And I'm still so excited to see a third one.
Yep.
This is one of those I'm so glad that this is a series, and
Yep.
I really don't want it to stop. I want them to take their time and make sure that they continue, like, the quality near the original two.
Yeah.
But I would be so fine to go and watch a Glass Onion every couple years.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Sorry. I was drinking water. My bad. Anyways.
And Daniel Craig.
He's so great in those
Benoit.
movies.
Benoit.
Yep. I think that movie is what made me finally watch his James Bond movies, I want to say, because I really liked him in that. So then I was like, let me watch his James Bond movie. And I think I watched this in, like, the early COVID days, so I had a lot of time on my hands. So, yeah I just binged them. It was really good.
Benoit. Sorry, it's very fun.
Benoit Blanc. Anyways, and then number 5 is my musical of the top 10. Do you want to guess what musical I picked? It's not Wicked.
Okay, I didn't think it was going to be Wicked.
It's one I don't think you've seen.
Wait,
I did mention
you
it
say
earlier
this
today.
is cheating because you told me it was going to
Yeah.
be Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain.
And
Oh my
I actually haven't
god.
seen this yet.
I
do
love
own
this
it though, so I
movie.
need to watch it.
See,
I needed
that's
to watch it anyways, but I own it, so it's easy to watch.
I would say that's the one we should watch out of all of them. Or Nightmare Alley, just because I'm so curious what you think about that movie, if it works for you or not. That's the one I think is going to be the most divisive. I think you'll easily like the other two, but I don't know. Singing in the Rain is just great. I watched this because when Greta Gerwig's Barbie came out, I saw this article of, like all the films that Greta Gerwig said inspired Barbie. And at the top of the list was Singing in the Rain. I think she said it was her favorite movie, period. And so then I watched a lot of those films, but I watched Singing in the Rain first. And first of all, you can very much see the inspiration from that movie to Barbie in the musical number, especially the I'm Just Kin number when they're in that giant room. That is so Singing in the Rain. I mean, I know their outfits and hair are giving Grease, but everything else is giving Singing in the Rain. So you have to watch it. And Gene Kelly is great. He is very handsome. Greta Gerwig loves Gene Kelly. I totally understand.
Rita Moreno's in it.
It's so good. It's such a fun time. It's such a beautiful film. And the songs are great. The Singing in the Rain number is great. I listen to that song all the time. But anyways, that is my musical. I wanted to put a musical there, and that's probably my favorite movie musical.
I didn't know Gene Kelly directed it, and he directed Hello Dolly.
Yeah.
The
He
Beanstar.
co-directed Singing in the Rain. So, yeah.
Interesting.
And starred as the main character. He's also in An American in Paris, which is another film she put on her inspiration list, which was good.
So Greta's a simp for Gene. So Greta is a simp for Gene.
She is, yeah. She said that. She said, I love Gene Kelly. I think he's so handsome. He's so great in so many projects. And I agree. It's great. A true movie star.
Yes.
And then number 4 is a classic. Also a classic. Singing in the Rain is a classic too.
Yeah.
But a classic franchise movie. Do you want to guess what it is?
Franchise movie.
It is a part of a franchise. It's the first in a franchise.
Ooh.
And it's a little bit older. Not like old, but like older. Like 19 in front of it.
Not A New Hope, is it?
No.
Is it? Ooh.
A Star Wars film would be a fun movie in a top 10. I do love the early Star Wars movies.
Ooh. A franchise.
Ooh, it's a franchise that's still going today.
Is it Barbie and the Nutcracker?
No. None of the Barbie films are in my top 10, actually. Because I picked one Greta Gerwig film, and it was not Barbie. I thought about it. But anyways, that's not... Okay, I'll just tell you.
Tell me.
It's Jurassic Park.
Oh.
I love the first Jurassic Park movie. I mean, that scene when they first get out of the car and see the dinosaurs is like one of, if not my favorite scene from a movie ever. Like, it's just so awesome. I'm like, I love this scene. It's just so like you're in awe. It's like you're seeing them in person too. It's like a combination of the VFX, the acting in that scene, the score. It's just everything combined together. It's just that is like the magic of making movies right there.
And it captures it so well. Even if you watch it today, and clearly we could make them look more lifelike, more whatever, but he is so talented. It's a Spielberg one, right?
Spielberg, yeah.
He does such
He's
a good
on my
job
list
about
as well, directors.
that entire movie, making the camera work, put your audience in what they're feeling.
Yep.
And that's why it ages so well. Mm-hmm. It's so impressive.
And that's almost the point, is it's like when you're watching Avatar and you're like, I'm so awestruck at the technology for this. It's the same thing. It's like, I don't even care if we could make this look a little better today because it came out, 86 or something, 80 something. and it's just so beautiful for that time. And it's like Star Wars too, same thing. It's like, who cares if it doesn't look that great? It looked great for the time, and you can feel that it ages so well in a way that you can still feel that feeling of like, this is amazing technology. So I love Jurassic Park.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then number 3, this is the one I'm not sure if it's as popular as the rest. Probably not, but it should be because it's a great film. It is called Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. I also watched this for my film class, and Spike Lee is just such a great filmmaker. His early stuff especially is so interesting to watch because he's so good at using a small budget. He's just so good at directing, like just bringing out performances from people and using what he has, what is accessible to him, and like his production wherever he's filming. He uses like a newspaper from the side. He uses, it's just like the angles, I don't know, it's just so unique, and I just love his style of filmmaking. And that film, I watched it during a time also pretty early COVID, when also the Black Lives Matter movement was kind of not starting, because it's been around for quite a long time, hence this movie especially. It talks about that in this movie, when it was like, what would you call it, reigniting, I guess. A
revival.
Reviving, yes, like becoming a lot more popular again. And this film is so important for that, because it's almost, and I put in my review, it's almost scary how relevant it is. It's almost sad how relevant it is till today, that these things are still happening. And he does it in a way where he really shows you the complexity of these characters, and still shows you empathy and humanizing these characters. And even when they make mistakes, you can still very clearly see, if you have a shred of empathy, that these characters do not deserve what happened to them. And it's just a combination of everything. The performances, the use of camera angles, and like, again, all the little pieces around him. I mean, he has a little bit bigger budget than like his debut film. I think it was like, I want to say like a few $1 million. But anyways, it's just a great film, very important film.
He has 136 directing credits to his name. That's super awesome.
He has directed a lot of stuff, and he stars in a lot of his stuff, which I think is interesting, because not everyone does that well, and he does that really well. He is great in front of and behind the camera. He's very, very funny. He's very funny. He's such a personable character.
Something else, I think, I'm curious if you tracked him.
Okay.
So obviously Giancarlo Esposito is in this. I knew that beforehand. But John Turturro is in it as well. And do you know where we've seen this man? We've seen him with our other innies chilling in the Severance floor. Interesting. Do you remember him from that movie?
I do. Because it's like the movie is about some conflicts that happen on the super, super hot day. I think it's like in August or something. And
are we talking New York, Chicago?
Yes, like parts of New York. I forgot where. I want to say like maybe Brooklyn, but I feel like that's wrong when I'm saying that.
Hold on, I have the whole thing pulled up.
Yeah. It's somewhere in New York. It's very hot. People have lost power, and they're just drenched in sweat, and tensions are high because of that. They're pissed off. And there's some Italians that live in the neighborhood, and then there's black people that live in the neighborhood, and those are like where the tensions are rising. And because the Italians are like super racist, and everyone's pissed off because this is a really hot day, and it just kind of comes to a head, and then it just completely, in like the final act, spirals out of control. Police show up, feel like you can know what happens. So it's just a very important film. There's some great scenes. There's also some very sad scenes. I don't know. It's just a very complex movie, and I love it. I wrote an essay on how much I loved it, and in my film class, we had to write an essay on one of our films. That's the one I picked because it was my favorite of the semester. So I was like, I want to talk about this film. I want to I want to research this film. Like, I want to find out things about this movie. And also in the movie, they put quotes from Martin Luther King and Malcolm X in the film, which I think is really cool because they had very, very opposing views of how to solve the same issue. Mm-hmm. But I think it was really cool because I feel like Spike Lee was trying to say, like, neither one was quite perfect and we need to meet somewhere in the middle. Like, he was, because you have these characters, like a Martin Luther King type character that just wants to fix things through peace, and another character that is always ready for a fight. But then neither one really works. And so it's like, and you can see like they needed to work together. And so that's kind of what I was writing about, was like, it was just really interesting, his ideas of comparing the two. And I like that. I feel like that's very important and still very relevant. So, which that's not my decision to decide, you know, what the best way forward is. That's why I was writing about his thoughts and researching his thoughts. Mm-hmm. And then dissecting the quotes and everything. So, but yeah, you should watch that movie. It's good.
Yep, we'll add it to our list tomorrow.
I own it. And that's a shame. I also want to shout out that I have a list of his films, and most of them, like probably 85 to 90% of them, are not available to stream anywhere, and I think that's a shame. You can rent them, so you know you can see them, but
I watched the only film I can remember that I saw of his was Black Klansman.
That's one of
that one's I really like that one.
I've only been able to see 3 of his films. I actually have not seen Malcolm X yet. I've seen parts of it, but it's a very long film, and I just haven't had the time to really sit down and give it the attention it deserves. So I haven't really watched it yet. But I've seen his directorial debut, She's Gotta Have It. That's good. And then Black Klansman and Do the Right Thing. Those are the 3 I've seen. Cool. But I have a list, so I'm going to see the rest eventually. Okay. Rad. That was my number 3. You ready for my number 2?
I am ready for number 2.
Dead Poets Society.
That's a great one.
I have already made you watch that one. It is great. That movie my parents warned me about. They were like, ooh, you have to be ready for a sad movie. And I said, okay, I'm ready. I was not ready. You would never be ready for that film, honestly. I was sobbing so bad. Like, my stomach hurt, my chest hurt. My mascara was all over my face. It was like a disgusting sob. It wasn't even like a pretty sob. It was like hair sticking to the face, like everything. It was so bad. I was in shambles after that movie. I still am when I think about that. Ethan Hawke in that movie is so good. Ugh. And the guy who plays Neil as well is really good. I forgot his name.
Oh, hold on. I can look at it. But I didn't realize that the director, Peter Weir, also did The Truman Show. Mm-hmm. And I love me The Truman Show as well.
That's a great movie.
Those are 2. Having those 2 on your resume, oh my gosh, you've done so much for modern culture and film already.
Absolutely.
Just with those 2 things. That's crazy.
Your films are still so loved. They're so good. They're so...
Neil was played by Robert Leonard.
He's great in that film. So sad. Oh my gosh.
Man.
I still, like, it's so sad every time I think about it.
And freaking Robin Williams.
Oh my god. I love him in that movie. And I've seen a lot of his films, and I love him in that movie.
Yeah, that's one of his best roles, I would say.
I agree.
Oh, such a classic.
Yes. And... obviously, I have to put a Greta Gerwig film in here. I've already talked about her like a couple times in this list. It was very hard for me to figure out which one I liked. She's only done 3. She's done Lady Bird, Little Women, and Barbie. All great films. And I really like all 3 films. But I went with Little Women.
I knew it.
Because that is the first film of hers that I saw. And then I saw Lady Bird, and then I saw Barbie. And I'm going to see Narnia, despite whatever the heck is going on in the casting department. Oof. Greta Gerwig we trust, because otherwise, I would not trust many filmmakers with that potential cast there.
Yeah.
At least Daniel Craig's supposed to be in there still. But I wish he was Aslan. So sorry, Meryl Streep. You would be great as what is her name? The White Witch? Yes, she would be a great pick. Or Saoirse Ronan, who is kind of like there with
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig. So she was supposed to be in Barbie, so she would have been in all three.
I'm
films,
interested
but-
to see, because obviously there's some reason she thinks that Meryl Streep's voice
She's
needs to come out
cooking,
of that line.
but will it pay off?
I'm really curious to see.
I mean, she's taking a big risk because you are
How it
gonna
goes
piss
there.
off like a certain group of people. Power to
Let's
you.
go, Greta. Let's hope you're using that Barbie capital well.
Yep. But
Oh, I'm so curious to see how that goes. I'm very excited for that movie, though.
mhm.
So, and yeah, I think Little Women as a movie, like, the
It's
way
just
the plot
great.
moves
Mhm.
is so cool. The way it
She-
flashes forward and back.
I read that book, which that is an interesting read. But I read the book, and Amy's character is wildly different.
How so?
And I did not like Amy in the book, like, at all.
Mhm.
And I actually really liked Amy in this movie. Now, there's obviously scenes where you're like, oh my God, I hate her. She sucks. Because she, like, burns Joe's book. You're like, damn.
Flo, come on.
But she's given so much nuance. And she's given so many great lines of, like, oh, what is her line where she's like, the poets would disagree. And she's like, well, I'm not a poet. I'm a woman. Like, it's just so many great lines, and I love that Greta Gerwig believed in Amy enough, and that's why I was really excited when she picked up Narnia, because Susan's character is so misunderstood. And why can I suddenly not remember the author of Narnia? That is gonna kill me. Can you look up the author of Narnia, please?
I'm going.
Oh, it's so obvious too. It's so well known. What is his name? But he loved Susan as a
Oh,
character.
C.S. Lewis.
Yes. C.S. Lewis loved Susan as a character. And Susan is so misunderstood and so disliked. Like, if you've read the books, there's a few reasons to dislike her. Just because she just seems so, like, stuck up. And, like, that's kind of the same with Amy. Is she's just so, like, there's so many reasons there to not like her. And some people still don't like her. Like, my mom still hates her, which I think is funny. But I like that she's given more nuance, and that's why I trust Greta Gerwig to deal with characters like that, because she's done it so well before. I love Amy from that movie. I love Joe. I love Meg. I love Beth. Like, everybody from that movie is so great, so nuanced, and treated as they're equally as important to their values, to their different values.
And Laura
which is very
Dern.
funny.
Straight out of the park.
Timothy C. I love Timothy in that movie. He's great. That was, I think, the first movie of his that I've seen. I've seen a lot more since then, but I think that was my first. That was my first for a lot of those actors. Not Emma Watson, obviously, but the
Who?
others.
Ah.
Fake Harry Potter fan. She's also great in that movie. She has a lot of movies post Harry Potter that are not good. I like her in that movie. I kind of liked her as Belle. I can understand that she wasn't the best singer, but everything else, she was great. She had a great vision for Belle. But this role is just great for her. So, yeah. That's my top 10. So I'll go pretty quickly through my honorable mentions. I'll kind of pause if you have any questions. though.
Sure.
So I have a lot of honorable mentions because it's very hard to pick 10. Very hard. And I have some horror movies in here. So I have Interstellar, Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
Great film. I also don't think you've seen that one.
I haven't yet. I'm sorry. It's on. I will. Don't yell at me.
No, yell at him. He needs pressure to see that movie. Timothy Chalamet is also in that movie. Very small role, but he is in that movie. Pretty Woman.
Now I've seen it.
Yep, I made him watch that. The Batman.
Mm,
Love The Batman.
that's so good.
$1 Million Baby with, I think her name's Hilary Swank, I want to say.
Interesting.
She's great. That is a Clint Eastwood directed movie. Great movie. It feels like Rocky and Creed until it's so not. That's why I love that movie. I mean, you have to watch that movie. It is so...
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm not even saying anything because I don't want to spoil it, but it is so good and it goes in such a different direction. Oof. They have great performances in that movie. Anyways, also, totally different vibe. The Devil Wears Prada. Excuse me. Meryl Streep.
Also
love
classic,
her.
iconic.
Anne Hathaway. Love her. Emily Blunt. Love her. Anyways. Yeah. And then the 2005 Pride and Prejudice. These were
Which
some
one's
of my
2005?
more comfort movies that I didn't put in the top 10.
Let me see if
but
that's the one I've seen.
This is not the craziest one on the list. The next
I've seen
movie
this one.
I'm gonna name is the wild card
Oh,
here.
I'm so excited.
This is Monte Carlo with Selena Gomez. I love that movie. It is like, it's so, I feel like it's pretty niche. I don't know how many people have seen that movie, but it is great. It's so underrated. It's just a great like rom-com. It has,
Corey
what's his-
Monteith.
Yeah,
Oh, rest in
yeah.
peace.
He's great in that movie too. Well, he's kind of a jerk some of the movie, but he gets better. He has an arc. He gets better. But yeah,
Interesting.
Selena Gomez is great in that movie. Leighton Meyer's great in that movie. The other blonde lady that I'm
Meester.
forgetting. Yeah, Meester.
Yes.
My bad. But she's great. Yeah, everyone's great in that movie.
Fascinating.
It's pretty good. It's a very good comfort watch. I also own that on DVD. And then Dirty Dancing. My
Mhm.
car is named Baby from Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner.
Yeah, and you can only
I
lift
love
her
that
up in a
movie.
lake.
I guess. Well, he lifted her up in the end. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's
It
propaganda.
worked. Whatever.
Allegedly.
This is what I wanted Footloose to be. I liked Footloose still, but that's what I wanted.
I don't think, whenever I watched both of these movies, I think I would agree. I think Footloose is what I expected Dirty Dancing
Yeah.
to be.
Mhm.
What Dirty Dancing was.
Yeah. I don't
Kevin-
know. I expected it to have that one moment, like when he finally lifts her up outside of the water. I expected Footloose to have one of those, like, yes moments, and it just doesn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good film otherwise, but I always think of when Star-Lord says in Infinity War, is
Kevin
Footloose
Bacon.
still the greatest film of all time? And Peter's like, it never was.
never
and I was
was.
like, yeah, sorry, Star-Lord. It's great. It's a good classic.
Kevin
It's
Bacon,
never
man.
going to be the greatest movie ever made. So sorry. Anyways, so happy for those who consider that the greatest movie ever, though.
Yeah, I'm glad you peaked.
There's certainly a lot worse films because it's not even a bad film. It's a good film.
No, absolutely.
So, but anyways, and then I have The Holdovers. I love that movie. What is it? Paul Giamatti or something?
I think so. Giamatti?
Something like-
Giamatti?
Giamatti? He's great. And then, Dominic something, I think his name is.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Oh, I want to say Dominic Fike, but that's somebody else, I think.
Paul Giamatti, Divine Joy Randolph, our Oscar winner,
Yes.
and
She's
Dominic
great.
Sessa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that movie.
Man, Dominic Sessa needs to be doing more work
I
after that
agree.
because
I
he did
agree.
kill it with that.
Mm-hmm. It's such like a good holiday film too. You don't have to watch it during the holidays, but it's it's a
Ooh.
good comfort movie. This
Are
is
you
very
aware
fun.
that he's supposed to be in the Now You See Me, Now You Don't?
I did not know that. That's cool.
Interesting.
Good for him. That'll be fun. I also put as my other musical option Mary Poppins. I love Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Poppins. I love Julie Andrews.
Some chaotic good energy.
Yeah.
She's like the reverse Wanda.
No, it's
You
just
know?
it's just a great film all around. I love Feed the Birds. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. It's my mom's I want to say favorite song. It's just so sweet. I love that song.
Okay, I have
it
a
was
question.
Walt Disney's one of his favorite songs.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I could do that in 5th grade because we actually had one of our teachers for extra credit say for extra credit you can spell that word and you'll get extra credit, and I did.
Right.
So
Okay, but
yeah.
real question. Because
Can you say it backwards? something Rufus. I worked with Mary Poppins. I used to be a photographer for Disney World. Some lore about me. Yeah.
Lord
And
Rop.
I was one of the avocados, the people in the green shirts. Anyways, or whatever you want to call us. Limes, avocados. Anyways. So I took pictures of Mary Poppins. Oh my gosh. It was one of the best, my favorite memories. Love Mary Poppins.
What a queen.
It was so have a jolly holiday. She was so, oh my god. I love her.
Okay, I'm curious.
And Penguin.
Because I took way too long to officially watch the whole of Mary Poppins. It was within the last year that I've actually seen the full movie.
Wow.
How do you feel about
Fate.
Mary Poppins Returns, which I saw first?
If it had nothing to do with Mary Poppins, I would have liked it. but it's just not Mary Poppins. It just doesn't have that charm. It has charm, but it's just so different. It's just, you can't recreate Mary Poppins, and you can't have a sequel to it. You just can't. It's just Mary Poppins. Just don't touch it. It's a classic. It's like if someone tried to do Singing in the Rain 2 today, like nowadays. I'd be like, absolutely not. Leave it alone. It's a classic. It's great. Don't tarnish it. It was fine. I don't remember much about that movie. I don't remember watching Mary Poppins Returns. I know I did, but it just wasn't as good. It was it's kind of like the live actions, how I feel about a lot of them. It's like, even if it's fine, it's just never going to be as good as the original. So why do it, you know? It can be a fun time, but it's not the classic. Okay, I also put another sad movie, The Iron Claw. I love that movie.
That's a great pick as well.
I hate that it got nothing at the Oscars. A24, I'm coming for you, because
It's so true.
I hate that you didn't push that movie more, and that you gave it the release date that you did, because it got nothing. That should have been Zac Efron's Oscar, and I stand by that.
Dang.
I loved Zac
think
Efron
he's
in that
great
movie.
I think the fact
I think
that he
everyone's good in that movie, but him
all of those
especially.
main boys, those brothers.
Oh.
I used to be a brother.
Yep, and his sons being like, "We can be your brothers." Oh my God,
Did I ever?
shambles!
Oh my gosh.
Shambles in the theater.
So
It takes a lot for me to cry in the theater around people, but I did. It was like
I don't know how you can't.
I know.
That's.
Oh my God.
Ugh,
Such a sad story, but such a great film.
I remember I went to go see that with one of our friends, the one I see movies with a lot.
Yes.
And we're in the middle of the theater, and a character comes on screen, and it's Jeremy Allen White, and he's like, "Oh, he's in this?" And I'm like, and now everyone in this theater knows that you didn't know he was going to be in this movie.
That's funny. I just think it's funny, that scene when they're dancing and they put a chair in front of Jeremy Allen White's legs, because he can't keep up compared to the rest of them. I think that's funny. And I love seeing like the Kenny Ortega in Zac Efron in that scene. I'm like, I love it. He still has that Kenny Ortega in his blood. So love that for him.
Yeah, that was an amazing movie. I definitely need to rewatch that at some point, because it just hit me so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
So then the next film is a horror film by Jordan Peele. It's my favorite of the three. Do you want to guess? There's two. I mean, I like all three of them, but no, actually, I put Us. Yeah, Get Out is so good though. I would not be mad if it was in my honorable mentions at all.
No, but I love Us as well.
I love Us. That was the first one of his films I had seen, and then later I went back to watch Us, and then Nope came out in theaters. I like all three films. I think Get Out and Us are like a clear notch above
I would agree.
Nope, in my opinion. Although I
that
do like
being
Stephen
said-
Yeun in that movie. But anyways, I mean, Stephen Yeun was in Nope.
Yeah. That's the first
It was
place
fun.
I think that's probably the first thing I ever saw him in, because I never watched Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm sorry. Don't come for me.
Sorry. I haven't either. Don't come for us. I'm sorry. I will one day. But anyways.
But no, because it's like being the worst Jordan Peele. Being the worst Jordan Peele movie is like...
And it's still good.
And it's still so good.
Yeah.
Like,
that just shows how great...
Right.
He is also on my list of favorite directors. So it's just so good. I loved the ending. My jaw was dropped. I was like, oh my God. I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't seen it. But if you have seen it, you know the ending is great. And Lupita is just... Why can I not pronounce things today? It's not even a hard name to pronounce. Anyways, she's so great in that movie. Love her. And then I also put Whiplash. Love Whiplash.
Good pick.
Oh, what's Miles Teller? I almost forgot his name for a second. J.K. Simmons. I think he won an Oscar.
Yes,
for
he did
this.
win the Oscar for that.
As he should. But also, Miles Teller should have been there too. I don't even think he was nominated, if I can remember.
That's crazy to me.
I think so. I think I remember who's not even nominated. But it was just a great movie. It was one of those where, like, I was on a string of, like, guy film movies, like Wolf on Wall Street, Fight Club, I don't know. And I was on a string of those movies, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of getting tired of some of these. Like, they're good movies, but they're such, like, boy good movies. And then I see Whiplash, and I'm like, no, this one's different. Oh, I also forgot to put Black Swan on this list. I also watched Black Swan around this time. Such a great film.
Also great.
Natalie Portman's best film.
I was perfect.
Oh my gosh, it's such a great film. But also Whiplash is too.
And
They're very similar, like themes.
And it's crazy
with,
because
like a
Black
crazy
Swan
mentor.
Black Swan is such a slow burn. But as soon as you start seeing the stuff happen, it's like,
Yep.
whoa.
No, and that's how I feel about Nightmare Alley. Is it's like such a slow burn, but once it gets there and you get what they're doing, it's like, yep, I understand. I'm in it. So, and then my last film on the honorable mentions is Parasite. Love Parasite. It's my favorite Bong Joon-ho film.
We've talked a lot about Bong Joon-ho lately with our
Although
episode on
Memories of
Mickey
Murder,
17.
yes, I've seen all of his films now officially. I think the last time we talked about it, I had only seen like 3 of them. I've actually seen all of them now. I binged them. They were very good. Most of them were very good, and I really liked Memories of Murder as well. It's a close second for me.
Nice. This is a very solid list.
Yeah.
I respect it.
So I'm already at an hour, so sorry. I will go through the TV shows a little faster.
Okay.
Although I have a lot of honorable mentions for that as well. But anyways, so number 10 is New Girl. Love New Girl.
Sure.
Also, my shows, I have not seen near as many shows as movies, so please take this way more lightly. This is way more like my favorites. And again, I've seen way less TV shows. Like I haven't seen The Walking Dead. I haven't seen Breaking Bad. We're starting Severance, which I imagine will be on this list
Severance
somewhere.
is so good so far.
I just haven't added it because we've only seen the first 4 episodes of the first season, so... But it'll get there. I just don't know where yet. I'm going to wait till we finish it. So anyways, it's really good. Oh, I should put White Lotus on this list too. I like that show too. I didn't. I forgot. Anyways.
If you want to see more specifics on why we like White Lotus, check out some of our episodes on it.
Yeah. So then I have probably one of my favorite TV shows at some point was The Vampire Diaries. Loved that show. Used to watch it, rewatch it all the time. It was my comfort show during COVID. So was Criminal Minds. They were my 2 comfort shows during COVID. And with that, The Originals was also really good. Love those characters. Love vampires. I'm a big vampire girl in all the supernatural world. I'm vampire, so. Anyways. I also put Game of Thrones on this list, even despite the last season. Everything else is just so great that like I think it still deserves to be here. I wish it got a better ending, but a lot of these shows...
it still left such a huge impact on modern society.
Absolutely.
In the U.S.
Yes.
Its impact cannot be denied.
Yep.
You know where like 80% of America was on Sundays for years.
Which I did not see this show when it came out because I was in middle school maybe? I don't even know. I was too young to watch the show. So...
Yeah.
I didn't watch it till later, but then I got to binge it, so it was fun. It was a really good show. And a lot of these shows have a rough ending, so, you know, what can you do? That's
it's
the
about
problem.
the journey, not the destination.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of TV shows when they're a little bit older is usually the last 1 or 2 seasons are pretty bad, but then nowadays they don't even get 2 or 3 seasons half the time, so it's like I'd rather take the final seasons bad but have a full show than like not have a full show anymore at all. So anyways, then I have Only Murders in the Building, which is also kind of declining, but I think the start of it is just so strong. I think it deserves to be here, and I still think it's pretty unique. And
yeah, I mean, how many other shows can say that they're coming out once every year these days?
Exactly, not many.
And
the next one on my list can also say this though, but it's okay.
Before we move on to that one, I want to say that first season of Only Murders in the Building blew me away.
Good.
And you know what? Because of that and the ensemble is just so fun. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there 10 seasons down the line.
I agree, and that's why I put it on this list. And then so the next one is Abbott Elementary, which is also one of those that releases every year, and that's great. Hulu's really on the game right now. I love Hulu. And so, yeah, it's a really good show. It's very funny. It's one of my favorite sitcoms. I like The Office. I like, what others? So I guess New Girl is a sitcom, I guess.
Yes.
Friends, you know. I like sitcoms. They're fun. I haven't seen a lot of them, but I've seen some. Then I have Stranger Things, and I put it lower on the list just because the second season's not that great. And then parts of the 4th are kind of weak. But
We
overall,
we disagree on that.
I don't know.
I
The first
love
season-
4.
I like season 4. I really like season 3, and I really like season 1. And I know you really don't like Billy, and so he's not your favorite season 3, right? Isn't that right?
I
Or am
mean,
thinking
I
of
don't.
someone else.
I don't like him, but
Oh.
I think you're not supposed to like him.
Yeah, like he's definitely a villain. I don't know, but I really like the show. I really like the first and the third season. The fourth season's still pretty strong, and then the second season not that great, but it has its moments.
Because maybe it's also because I just love Vecna as a villain so much.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
God,
do love Vecna.
Adore him.
Yeah.
Because watching season 4 of Stranger Things, like I was tracking some issues I had with it, but it was just so like each episode I was so excited every time.
That's kind of how I felt too. Like I can see the issues there, but I still am having so much fun. I really, really liked watching like the 2.5 hour finale. I was sobbing when you know who died. Like it was just so great. I had my headphones in, my mom, and I was watching it on my iPad, and my mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" She like came into the living room. She's getting ready in the bathroom when I was watching this. I was watching this like early morning too. I just woke up and I'm watching so and so die. Yeah, and then she's like, "What's happening?" Because I guess I was crying so loud that she was like, "What's happening?" I was like, just keep getting ready, Mom. Just keep getting ready. But anyways, yeah, it's still a really good show. I'm excited for the final season.
Hopefully it sticks this landing.
I wish it had a less problematic cast, but you know.
What you gonna do?
We have Finn Wolfhard out of it. Love that. Sadie Sink. So, you know, you have some good apples.
For sure.
Winona Ryder, I think she's still fine. I think David
I love
Harbour.
Winona Ryder.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Anyways, I'll still be seated.
Yeah, this show really highlighted a lot of talent that not all of them are making their transition outside of the show, but some of them are, and it's great for them.
I agree. Anyways, and I think the right people are getting more recognition.
Sure, absolutely.
For the most part. I wish Lucas's actor, I forgot his name. I'm really trying to remember his name. I wish he was getting more work, but 'cause I think he's great. I wish he was still young enough to get Miles Morales. I don't think he is. But I know a lot of people at one time were campaigning for him, and I also
Caleb
liked the...
McLaughlin.
Yes, I also liked the casting, but I do feel like it's kind of getting to that point where he's a little too old. And he's also a little too young for Harry Osborn, so it's like...
I don't know. I think they could. I think
They
he
could
could
do it if
still
they want
pass his
to.
miles.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I'll be there. I don't care. I just like him. He's great. But even outside of that, even outside of the fan cast, I think just in general, he deserves more work.
Yeah.
Anyways. Oh, and then I put WandaVision. I have my Marvel show in here. Love WandaVision. I was not a hater of the ending like some people. I still think, especially all things
Bro,
considered.
I was too busy sobbing.
Yeah. I'm like, all things considered, that was still pretty great. So, anyways, because I think it was supposed to have like one more episode, but then stuff happens. So, what can you do? The other shows with the rushed finale don't have an excuse, which we already talked about this, but we don't think a lot of them have rushed endings. But even for those who think they do, they don't have an excuse like WandaVision had an excuse. Yeah. Anyways. And then I put 1 and 2 are like neck and neck. I put Heartstopper, and then I put Avatar The Last Airbender for 2 and 1.
Okay.
I love these two shows. I grew up on Avatar The Last Airbender. It still hits the same.
Yeah,
it's still great overall. I mean, it has its like weak points, but again, that's what's great about those shows who have full seasons is it's like, yeah, you may have some filler episodes, but that would kind of be nice sometimes nowadays. So, like, Abbott Elementary still has some filler episodes, and I'm like, it's kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Anyways.
the whole point of a filler episode is that it's supposed to highlight something about the character and be an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I think when I have an issue with a filler episode, it's like, there's something I would rather be seeing, and this does not compare.
Okay. Yeah, that's valid.
You know, and I think that's a valid thing. If it's like, I don't want to see this character doing the thing this character does, and it's like, cool.
Yeah.
That's the show you signed up for.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think...
I like it. And of course, I just love Heartstopper. I think it's a very
Love
important
it.
show, and I think it's a very sweet show. I think it's kind of crazy that a lot of people are like, it's too like kiddie or whatever. I'm like, they're high schoolers. Also, what is that show called? The Royals show?
Young Royals.
Young Royals. That's like the vibe you're wanting. So just go watch that. That's what's great. Like, you don't have to have one or the other. Why can't you have this like comfort show and you have a more like sad show? Like, you have nuance. That's great. You have options. Isn't that the point? Isn't that what we want? Don't we want options? I think it's crazy to like put representation in a box.
Yeah.
Be like, you have to be sad and like show struggle, which it still does. Have you seen season 2 or 3?
3.
3?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Anyways, I'm like, stop complaining and go watch Young Royals, because that is also a great show. But that's the vibe you're wanting if you're complaining. So just go over there. But like, I like both shows. Like, isn't that the point, that you have just like a bunch of representation instead of just one? Anyways, I love Heartstopper. It's a comfort show. I've rewatched it a few times. I'm gonna rewatch it again. Hopefully, when they get a season 4, please, Netflix.
Season 4, please.
I'm scared because when they are silent for a long time, it's usually not a good sign.
Alice, you'll pull through. I believe in you.
Yes, they have said they're working very hard. They're still in the process of fighting for it. So I hope it pulls through. Anyways, I'll pretty quickly go through my honorable mentions. That was my top 10.
Okay.
So I have The Sex Life of College Girls. Love that show. It's such a fun show. It's such a funny show, too. I love the actresses in it. They're great. I don't know if there's, like, a single weak link. I really don't think there is. Even in the new season, when Renee Rapp goes away, I wouldn't even really say they replace her, because she's such a different character. But the girl that comes in and then lives with them, quote unquote replacing, but not really, because they make her own character, and I think that helps her. She turns out great too. She starts off where you're like, I don't like this, I want Renee Rapp back, and I still do. I still would take her back, but which they canceled it, unfortunately, so we're not gonna get another one. But anyways, she was still great, especially towards the end. You're like, the last episode, you're like, okay, I love her, and then we're never gonna see anymore. I'm so sad. Anyways, Max, I continue to hate you. Anyways, I also put Shadow and Bone, even though it's not like a perfect show, but I still love that show. I love the book series. I love that they combine the Six of Crows characters too. I think they're very fun, especially in season 2. I'm so sad. It's canceled.
It's Jesper and Wylan?
Wylan, yes.
Wylan.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're so cute. And that does not happen in the books. But in hindsight, I'm so glad it did, because we're not getting another season. So.
No, we are not.
Anyways, I also put The Boys. The Boys is great. The recent seasons have been, weaker, but again, those
the
first
recent
2 seasons,
we think has been weaker.
Yeah. But the first few, oh my gosh, they're so great. They're so great at political commentary. They're so great at poking fun at the stereotypes of the other Superman and all those others. I'm like, this is so funny. And it's so brutal, and it's I love that Prime is going for that. They have a brand with superhero stuff. It's very brutal, very gory, very adult. And I love that they have found that brand. I think it's very interesting. Same with Gen V. It's a very interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm super excited for the next season of Gen V.
Yeah. And then I put The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I'm going to make you watch this summer when the final season comes out.
And When I Turn Pretty.
Team Conrad, I will be gaslighting you, which you better be Team Conrad, because
We'll find out.
Oof. I will be.
I will reserve my judgment.
At gunpoint. Anyways.
I'm strong, independent, and
when
make my
when the
own
author
choices.
is Team so and so, that's who you should be. But anyways, so for all those that are like, Jeremiah's gonna be in game, girl, the biggest Conrad fan is the author. So you're funny. But the promo, yeah, because that's how the season starts. Dummies, read the book.
Whoa, someone's getting spicy.
Anyways,
you give her one birthday episode. Here
it's
she goes.
because they don't read the book, and then they're like, oh, they're gonna change the ending, and I'm like, no, they're not. And then you do read the book, and you just ignore it. You're ignoring the red flags. You're like, oh well, he cheated on her, but did he? yeah, he did. And even if he didn't, it's like the whole Ross thing of like, we were on a break, who cares? It was still a highly disrespectful thing that shows you never cared for the person you were with in the first place if you turn around and go sleep with somebody else. That's the point. Even if you don't consider it cheating, it's still highly disrespectful. So shut up, and you deserve better. You deserve to be treated better than that. So stop ignoring that red flag. But anyways, I put Criminal Minds on here because it's another COVID comfort show.
Sure.
Same with Julie and the Phantoms.
Ugh.
That show deserved better.
R.I.P. to that show.
Yeah.
That one was so good. That one could have gone. I cannot believe they did not continue that show, because that show could have gone on for so much longer.
Such chemistry between the actors too. I don't know, like most of them haven't even gotten work after that, which sucks.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then I put The Big Bang Theory because my family grew up watching that movie and it's very funny. So, yeah.
Bazinga.
Yeah. Anyways, and then I put The Bear, even though the recent season's not as good.
Those
Okay,
first 2 seasons.
Again, a lot of these are like, who cares if I put it on this list because the first at least 2 seasons were probably really strong.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought because of that, it deserved to be here. So
Yeah, here's hoping season 4 goes back into the swing of things.
hopefully. And then I put X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right.
Mm-hmm. Such a great show.
Super excited for season 2 of that.
Absolutely. Why did I put Abbott Elementary on here? I already put that on my list. Anyways,
gosh.
I put Daisy Jones and the Six, even though I can acknowledge that it is far from a perfect show. But I like the book, and I like the cast.
It was really fun watching.
It's just vibes. It's just fun vibes.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm here for it, even if there's clear problems. I'm like, I don't even care. It's just a fun watch.
Yeah.
I have lower expectations for TV shows, I feel like. Anyways. And then I put the Percy Jackson show, even though that's only 1 season. But it's just so fun. It's so much better than the movies already. It's so much more the books. And I'm excited for season 2. And I think, did they already greenlight?
Season 3 recently
3?
got greenlit
Yeah.
as well.
So,
Just
good for
very
them.
exciting that it's going to
Yes,
go
it
further than
did.
I've seen.
Nico, don't mess this up, Rick Riordan. I believe in you because you have done so well so far. But you better not mess Nico up because he has a lot of things he has to be. That actor has to be. So, good luck to that kid. Oof, I'm a little scared. Anyways, hope people are nice to him. And then even if he's not what they were thinking, I hope people are nice to him because it's not his fault. Anyways, and then I recently put Adolescence because it was really good.
Yeah,
Which that's a limited
Adolescence is great.
series, so I didn't really know, but
So is WandaVision.
yeah. So, but it's just really good. I feel like it deserves to be here. So, yeah. I'm sure I'm leaving a lot out. I'm so sorry. I have letterboxed for my movie references on what I've watched and what I've liked. I don't have anything to reference for TV shows, so sorry. I'm sure I'm
Imagine.
leaving plenty of them. Oh, wait. I skipped Arcane. How could I do that? It's on my list, and I skipped it. I'm sorry. I like Arcane. It was really good. Very great animation. Very unique animation. So, very great anime. Anyways, you know what I mean. Anyways. So,
yeah.
I already mentioned, I think, most of my top directors. Spike Lee, Greta Gerwig, Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, Ryan Coogler. I didn't mention him. He's great.
Super
Jordan-
excited to see his next movie this next month. Or this
Yes,
month.
This
we're in
month.
April already.
Sinners. Jordan Peele, Clint Eastwood, Bong Joon-ho, I can't ever say it, but I love him. Guillermo.
Guillermo del Toro.
I have such a problem with the first name. I try so hard. I even Googled how to pronounce it today so I could sound it out and practice. I literally went to practice and I couldn't get it even once.
Guillermo del Toro.
I even slowed it down and I was like, nope, I can't get it. My mouth won't move like that. I'm so sorry, but I love your work.
Apologies to this man.
I love your work. Anyways, you're great. I'm probably leaving a lot of directors out, but anyways, those are the ones I could think of today. I just made the list today,
Good list.
so
It's a good
sorry.
list.
Yeah. Anyways, so there you go.
So now we all know Alicia a little better.
Yeah, that was my special. We'll have to hear your special later.
Yeah.
So.
Back when it's closer to my birthday. But whatever. So, yeah, that was Alicia's list. Let us know what you thought. Is there anything you also love from her list? Is there anything you absolutely hate from her list and she's weird for liking it? Put a comment below.
you. Hey, just remember, it's my favorites, not the ones I think are the best ever. Especially heavy on the TV shows for that one. There's very much, like, I have not seen enough TV shows to be like, these are the best. And I know they would not. Some of them would not be on that list.
Sure,
but anyways,
sure.
I like them. They're comfort TV shows, okay? So let me live. Let me live, okay? Anyways.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and happy birthday, Alicia.
Thank you.
Everyone tell her happy birthday. Did you do it? We're looking at the comments, so
Oh, okay.
so do it,
Anyways.
or else she's gonna cry.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds with us. I am Luke,
And I'm Alicia.
and you guys take care. Until the next one.